anyone explain to me how I have 2 degrees? I have 2 degrees. Oh, and a certificate. A little extra, right? I have a certificate. I'm trying to apply for jobs right now, and the thing is that the only person I have responding to me is a man from a tech company saying, hey, you want to answer some customer service problems? No offense, but I'm a little more qualified than to be sitting around answering your customer service calls. Bart, okay? I'm sorry, but Bart is the only one who's responding to me. So what am I supposed to do? And I'm looking down at these and I'm looking at them and I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, what was this for again? Oh, I don't know. Beats me.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh, a giant spider on my keyboard. Sorry for the jump scare, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is the sad reality of a college degree in today's world. I remember growing up and hearing that getting a college degree pretty much ensures you to get a job. It may not be a great job, but the fact that you have that degree, you have that piece of paper, basically means that a lot of jobs will give you an opportunity to work for them. Let alone 2 degrees, and all she can get is a customer service job, which I don't know how it is everywhere, but at least where I stay, customer service jobs, they give those to pretty much anybody. So that's a little scary. And this isn't my first time hearing about this. I myself actually did not complete a college degree, but some of my friends and people I'm close with did. And I found it kind of funny how, similar to her, they had issues finding jobs, and I myself really didn't. Now, those could be for a lot of different reasons, obviously, connections, networking, resume building, and things like that. But regardless, that's besides the point. Like, the college degree was pretty much worthless, because in today's world, experience is way more valued to employers than a degree or any type of certification, because they realize, like, what college is. College isn't necessarily teaching you practical skills. It's going to teach you a lot of theory. It's going to teach you a lot of history and kind of the building blocks to it, but it's not going to teach you exactly how to do the job.
Answering your customer service calls. Bart, okay?
I have 2 degrees as well, and I could not find a job right out of college. Seriously, I put out 114, I counted them, 114 applications. I sent my resume to anywhere with an HR department. I graduated magna cum laude, was a part of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, Dean List 4 years in a row, 2 degrees, fluent in classical Latin, and the only place that would call me back, which happened to be my first job after I graduated, was a pawn shop. And they paid me $9 an hour and told me it was a good rate for somebody with 2 degrees. So I left the pawn shop. Now I do IT customer service for Bart, making $16 an hour, which still isn't enough.
It's not.
Which is probably why I've had to supplement my income with things like this.
Okay, that was actually somebody who stitched that original video that I played first. And once again, same situation, 2 degrees, couldn't find anything. But the fact that she put out 114 applications, that might be more mind-boggling to me than anything. And only heard back from 1, that just goes to show not only how the degrees aren't valued, but just how bad the job market is in general right now. It honestly just doesn't make sense to me how people are still, in today's world, paying ridiculous amounts of money almost just for that college experience. It seems like that's more of what it is now, is just for the college experience. That's what you're paying for. It's becoming more known. There's people saying, I'm so scared to get out of college for this exact reason. So actively in college, realizing that you are just throwing your money away and scared because you know that the job market is not looking very good right now. That's terrible. That's sad. This person said, took me 4 years after college to get a job even sort of related to what I studied in college. Could you imagine getting a degree, getting your diploma, and waiting 4 years after just studying 4 years? That doesn't even add up. And then one thing I like about what she mentioned at the end was that she's having to do other things to make supplemental income, like doing TikToks. Obviously, the gig economy, people picking up a bunch of different side hustles. I did a whole lot of freelancing gigs when I was coming up as well, so I really do understand that. But it's almost becoming like a standard now in today's economy. Like, people can't just have one job. If anything, they're trying to job stack, or they're freelancing or doing some type of content creation or having some type of hustle or side business going on, because it's just, even if they are able to find a job, a lot of the times it's not enough. Like she said, she jumped from $9 an hour to $16 an hour, but the cost of living $16 an hour is not stretching. It's not.
A CS degree will not guarantee you a coding job. A lot of CS curriculums in colleges only teach theory about computer science, and don't teach you the practical programming skills or the demanded skills in the industry. So if you're looking to get a coding job, don't just rely on that degree. You have to keep up with the latest technologies and code on your own time.
Now, my experience comes from software sales and being an account executive at tech startups. So I have a lot of experience working very closely with developers, and coding is something that I always kind of was interested in too, but I never really took the initiative to try to do it myself because I always heard that even with degrees and even with certificates, it was very difficult to find a job. But yeah, I think he's spot on. And this is exactly the problem with college. A lot of what they teach you, like I said earlier, is just theory. It's not going to teach you a lot of very practical things. If anything, it will teach you the bare bones. But word for word, what he said was don't rely on that degree. You have to keep up with the latest technologies and code on your own time. So basically what this is telling me is that you have to keep up with the latest technologies, aka you constantly have to study, and there's a lot of new information coming in. Basically, a lot of the older information that you learned in college, it might not necessarily become obsolete, but it can become less relevant over time. And then the second part of that, he said you have to code on your own time, which implies self-studying, which my developer friends, they told me all the time that they know some of the absolute best programmers in the world and they don't have a lick of college experience. So if you can self-study up to that point in general, why not just save your money from school and learn yourself? Or if anything, do a boot camp. There's a ton of boot camps that even if they may seem expensive, a couple $1,000s, ultimately that will still be way cheaper than a college education. You get all the skills, you get all the experiences, it's much cheaper, and it's probably not going to last you 4 years if we're being honest.
I have 2 degrees. Oh, and a certificate.
He goes on to say, and no job. I can explain. The Modern University is a $200,000 postmodern Marxist indoctrination daycare drinking camp. This does not initiate you into any higher form of thinking or make you more capable of doing literally any job except for very specific specialized professions. Because we have a cultural hard-on for academia, which has not caught up to the actuality of the situation yet. Most kids end up going, arbitrarily picking a major, getting into mountains of debt, having sex with a bunch of strangers, leaving with a smattering of facts about arthropods, and generally more confused than when they went in. So, the free market has realized it's actually much more useful to just have a guy who can change a light bulb, work hard, and be a regular person, than to hire another insufferable 21-year-old redundant gender theorist who's been inundated with a bunch of they don't actually understand and can't defend past 2 good questions, but will continually make part of your life whether or not you want them to. That's why for most people it's not worth going into debt for a bachelor's degree unless you know exactly what you want to do. There's literally no excuse to whimsically go into university anymore. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of 4 years of your life, and they will try to destroy your soul.
Wow. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Let me know down below in the comments, do you agree with what he said? Do you disagree with what he said? Regardless, hit the subscribe button for more information, and I am gone. Peace.